When the Fellowship entered Moria, and more specifically the chamber of Mazarbul, they found a grave. On it was written,
"Here lies Balin, son of Fundin, Lord of Moria."
This is the same Balin from Thorin's companions during the quest for Erebor. But how did he get from Erebor all the way into Khazad-dûm, the dwarven kingdom where no dwarf lived for hundreds of years, where orcs now dwell, as well as an immortal being of shadow and flame? So why don't we go and start the video. Before we go and take a look on how the expedition started and what all went wrong, we'll look at a brief history of Balin himself. Balin was one of Thorin's companions during the quest for Erebor.
Balin, at your service.
He was a dwarf of Durin's folk and was born in the year 2763 of the Third Age. He was only 7 years old when Smaug attacked the Lonely Mountain. After Smaug had conquered the dwarven realm of Erebor, he lived with his father Fundin and his younger brother Dwalin in Dunland. But after the battle of dwarves and orcs, he moved to the Blue Mountains. Together with his brother, he joined Thorin's companions to reclaim the dwarven city of Erebor in the year 2941 of the Third Age. During this quest, he became very fond of Bilbo. He even visited him often after the quest for Erebor was completed. So now we know a little bit more about Balin's history, but we still don't know how he ended up in Moria and what really happened to him and the other dwarves during their expedition. We know a lot from Glóin, who was also at the Council of Elrond. It was partly for that exact reason that Glóin and his son Gimli traveled to Rivendell, to ask Elrond what they must do. The other reason is for Bilbo. A messenger came from Mordor and asked for more information about Bilbo Baggins. If they would give the messenger more information about Bilbo, he would give the dwarves the remaining dwarven rings of power. The messenger came 3 times to ask the same question. But first of all, let's hear what Glóin has to say during the Council of Elrond about Balin and his expedition to Moria.
Moria, Moria, wonder of the northern world. Too deep we delved there and woke the nameless fear. Long have its vast mansions lain empty since the children of Durin fled. But now we spoke of it again with longing and yet with dread. For no dwarf had dared to pass the doors of Khazad-dûm for many lives of kings, save Thror only, and he perished. At last, however, Balin listened to the whispers and resolved to go. And though Dain did not give leave willingly, he took with him Ori and Oyen and many of our folk, and they went away south. That was nigh on 30 years ago. For a while we had news, and it seemed good. Messengers reported that Moria had been entered and great work had begun there. Then there was silence. No hurt has ever come from Moria since.
So here we see that Balin longed to reclaim Moria, their home of old, the dwarven realm of Khazad-dûm, and he went with a group of dwarves, which contained Ori and Oyen from Thorin's companions. It was against King Dain's will that Balin should leave, but why was he against it, you might wonder? At the end of the battle between dwarves and orcs, it was Dain, who was back then very young, who slew Azog. He looked into the kingdom of Moria and saw the nameless fear lurking around the corner. So then he said to Train not to enter and reclaim it. That is also why he was against Balin leaving for Moria, because he still feared that this nameless fear was still dwelling in these ancient halls. So for all these years, the dwarves of Erebor haven't heard a thing of Balin or even his companions. They wondered what had happened to them. When the Fellowship went through Moria, they learned a lot of what exactly happened to Balin and his companions. When they saw the tomb of Balin in the chamber of Mazarbul, the chamber of records, there they found the book of Mazarbul, where a lot was recorded of their findings, what halls they have reclaimed, but also the end of their lives. The pages were marked with numbers which represented the years of their colonization. When we take a look at year 1 to 3, they have recorded that they have entered the realm of Khazad-dûm, that they have conquered the 21st hall, which is the hall next to the chamber of Mazarbul. In this chamber, Balin put his throne and called himself the Lord of Moria. They also found a lot of dwarven heirlooms, just like Durin's axe. They also found treasures such as mithril or true silver. But all went wrong when Balin went to look upon Lake Mirrormere. Let's read a little what was written in the book of year 5, the last year of the colonization.
Yesterday, being the 10th of November, Balin, Lord of Moria, fell in Dimril the hill. He went alone to look in Mirrormere. An orc shot him from behind a stone. We slew that orc, but many more came up from the east up the Silver Lode. We rescued Balin's body, a sharp battle. We had barred the gates, but doubt if can hold them long. If there is no escape, it will be a horrible fate to suffer, but I shall hold. We cannot get out. We cannot get out. They have taken the bridge and the second hall. Frar and Loni and Nali fell there bravely while the rest retreated to Mazarbul. We still hold the chamber, but hope is fading now. Oin's party went 5 days ago, but today only 4 returned. The pool is up to the wall at the west gate. The watcher in the water took Oyen. We cannot get out. The end comes soon. We hear drums. Drums in the deep. They are coming.
It would have been devastating, trapped in that chamber, waiting for your last breath, waiting for death to arrive. They were trapped, they couldn't get out. It's a tragedy what happened there. Gimli took the book with him to bring back to King Dain when they left the chamber and ran for the last bridge of Khazad-dûm. At this bridge, the battle started between Gandalf and Durin's Bane. It eventually ended in Gandalf transforming into Gandalf the White. If you are eager to learn more about this transformation, then this is the video you're gonna need to watch next.